What's up? Today's topic is mixed families, meaning if you were to marry somebody who already had children and you are the step parent, or you are the biological parent and you marry somebody else who is not the biological counterpart to your children. There's some ups and downs to it. But at the end of the day, I feel like when everything is leveled out and everything is fair, it should operate just like it should be seamless, as if all children were fathered by both parents in that household. It doesn't work like that all the time. I know that I talked to some people. I had this older guy. I did not know that this particular female was not his daughter, right? So I talked to him about it, and he's like, "Yeah, she gave me some crap. She didn't like for me to put my foot down, and there was always that 'you're not my daddy' type of thing, and this, that, and the third. Those type of classic verbiage, vocabulary that comes from a stepchild." And then I talked to her about it because I didn't know that was his stepdaughter, because it was crazy. Then I went to her and was like, "Yo, what was it like?" She started laughing. She was like, "At first I didn't like him. At first I didn't like him because not you didn't, and then they didn't have any real reason not to like him, just the fact that basically you are creeping in on what was virtually perfect before you showed up. It was me and my mom and my siblings, depending on how you grew up. And then here comes this guy. He's just gonna barge in and just try to take over." That's how I saw him. But later on, I realized that he was not like that. That was not his purpose. That was not his motive. My mom deserved love too. And she met this guy and they ended up getting married. And we were a part of the package. So my friend of mine, a good friend of mine, we've been friends for since we was about 8 or 9. And I talked to him about it. He said that he felt the same way. He felt like that the dude was there to destroy the family. Him and his younger brother, same thing. They both had the same idea on it. His sister was older. She was, how much older was she? I don't know. She was older. She's probably like maybe 6 years older than us, something like that. And they had one child. The youngest child was actually a product of his mom and his stepdad. So of course she got a little bit more leeway with different things, but it ironed out as they all got older. Basically what I'm saying is that it's going to be the same across the board, the emotions that children feel. But I will say that you're never initially, you might be liked, you might be cool, but you're never initially a part of the gang. Being the non-biological parent, when you kick in, you walk into the picture, you're not a part of the gang. You're, who is this and how long are they staying type of mentality. So you have to be careful moving into that. Now, when marriage is a part of the picture, a man has his place and a woman has her place. No, excuse me. A husband has his place and a wife has her place. Nothing in the world should deter either one of these roles from being played out. I know that when we first got married, I would say stuff to her children and she didn't like it. And then I had to question myself. Like, was I wrong? Later on, finding out, no, I'm not wrong, because they was doing wrong. So I said something to them, and then later on, when my children started coming around more often, I had my youngest daughter would do stuff. She was very obnoxious and annoying, and she got a kick out of it, pissing people off. So she would do things soon as I left out, as soon as I got out the car. And they didn't like for me to leave her with them, but my thing was to leave her with them so she could bond with them, so she could understand that she don't always have to come with me. And she would do stuff, and then they would get back in the car. Oh, she's doing this and she's doing that. And I'd be like, well, why are you telling me about it? Why didn't you do anything? You know, and she felt, I guess, the same way I did in the beginning, that was not her biological child, so she had no right. Yeah, you got every right to say something to her. I would deal with their mothers if there's an issue, but discipline has to be applied in this situation. We have to do something. She cannot get away with this. And oh man, it was just a real low down catastrophe sometimes. It just didn't go the way that it was supposed to go. I had in-laws, you're this and you're that, blah, blah, blah. If I said something, and people were getting involved that shouldn't be getting involved. And the church members were getting involved and they shouldn't be getting involved. It was just one of the most frustrating moments in my life. But then there was times when I told them, I stayed true, and I was like, you know, if y'all ever need me, I'm always going to be there for you. And there was times I had to step up and defend them against other adults, other children, their age, when they was getting bullied or anything like that. I had to stand up for them because that's what was necessary. I knew what was going on, but I had to be there. But I tell you what, if you marry into what they call ready-made family, where your spouse already has children living with them, whether it be male or female, just understand that you are not a part of the gang. You are an outsider, and you're going to remain an outsider until it is established that you are going to play your role as husband or wife in that household, and you are to be respected just as you respect the biological parent. The rules have to be set before you put a ring on their finger, before you accept the ring on your finger. Establish those rules firmly and have a conversation. Sit down and talk with, because I'm pretty sure you was dating and it came to a point where y'all just, you started visiting and meeting people and stuff. But when you talk about marriage, that's the biggest step. Because them cats ain't looking forward to that. For real, I guarantee you, most of them are not. Some will be happy for you. But, hey, when it all go down and they have to move to another state, or they have to move to another city, or they got to make big changes in their lives, they're not going to like that. They're not going to understand it. So they're going to look at the non-biological parent as the reason for the catastrophe or the downfall of their current life. When you make a decision to marry, y'all need to get together and talk and establish authority right then. Hey, I just proposed to so-and-so. Let's all get together. Let's talk. This is what it's going to be like. How do y'all feel? Because my daughter didn't like my wife when she first met her. And I heard news through the teachers. Yeah, she talked about her. She said, I was like, really? So I confronted my daughter and got things straight. There was going to be no disrespect. None of y'all was going to disrespect her like that at all. By any means was I going to tolerate that. So, because I didn't want you to be buddy up in her face when she do something good for you, buy you Christmas gifts or birthday gifts or whatever. So I'm going to do a part 2 to this, and I'm going to share some of my, go deeper and share some of my experiences with y'all. But like I said, folks, it's something to be considered. You have to really look at what you're doing. Not only is your life going to be affected, but the lives of your children, with biological and non-biological, will be affected by this. They won't talk about it, but they will show it. So get into the conversation and let them know ahead of time what y'all trying to do so that they won't be surprised. You feel me? All right, y'all. Hope y'all got something out of this. Peace. Y'all be smooth.